And in talking about the crisis, we also said at that time what had caused the crisis, what was driving the crisis. And the fundamental cause is what we characterized as the state capture in Uganda, the capture of the state by a cabal of people using force, using arms to capture all power of state, to capture all institutions of the state. And therefore, for the population and all in the state to be just subjects, observers of those who had captured the state. And it was clear that those who had captured the state had captured all the wealth of the country. That's what capturing the state means. You capture control of the wealth. So the population is not in control of the wealth within Uganda. They capture this decision making. They are the ones who decide. They are sovereign. They are the state. And that we made it clear that those who captured the country were embodied in the family of Mr. Museveni. And that we are captives in the state of Uganda. And that those who had captured the state were using the resources of Uganda for mainly 4 or 5 purposes. First, to entrench their capture, to entrench their control, and make sure that nobody has a say. That is what they used resources primarily for, their priorities, to entrench their capture of the state. 2, to expand their power, even beyond Uganda. So, entrenchment, expansion. 3, to disempower all others so that they are easily controllable. In other words, domestic entrepreneurship also to be captured. And that's why, indeed, if you look for the people who control the economy, it's not Ugandans. They pattern with some external interests in the control of the wealth of the country. Those who were Ugandan entrepreneurs were crushed. Ugandan financial institutions were crushed. There is no financial institution now that you can talk of as a Ugandan institution, save the struggling Catholic controlled bank, the Centenary Bank. All banks of Ugandans were crushed. All who had wealth, the cooperative societies that had wealth, were crushed. So to disempower all and empower themselves, that was their third priority. And it continues. Anything you get, if they hear you are getting something, they extend their hand to get it. Even taxes, now they are looking for whoever is making even the smallest thing. They want to get it. So that is their priority number 3. And together with that priority is patronage. because they control the wealth, they become the givers. Anybody who is to get anything, it is them to give. Handouts. That was their priority number 3, disempower all and build patronage system. If you want to be a journalist who has anything, you must work with them, they give you a brown envelope. If you want to be a doctor, you must kneel down and clap your hands and say, thank you, Father, you have given me something. Patronage and disempowerment and patronage. Priority number 3. Priority number 4, control of information and propaganda. So that anybody who has to speak things they are not in support of or different views, they are either completely shut down or clouded out by their own noise and propaganda. And they have swarms of noisemakers in that regard, whether in the social media, whether in the mainstream media, whether in the Bakubiba Masimu, people who call on the radio stations, whether it is the people who are hosted by talk shows and so on. They make sure they are everywhere, clouding out any voice that shows what the real situation is. So that has been their priority, number 4. And that includes not just here, but international. You remember they were hiring people for millions of dollars, that they are public relations people. They pay them tens of millions of dollars to paint their image what it is not abroad. So that's their priority number 4. Their priority number 5 has been to make sure that nobody organizes against them. And any group that is organized, whether against them or not, that it's not harmonious, that it is divided and clashing. Because once it is organized at some stage, maybe it could pay attention to what they are doing. So they are anti-organization. Anti-organization, including what they claim to be their own organization. The NRM is not an organization. They can't allow it to be an organization, to be a strong organization, because it could then challenge them. So the people who captured the state have concentrated our resources in those 5 things. As a result, the crisis we are talking about started taking shape through the marginalization of the population.